I'm Lundy Hollenbeck, and welcome to Women Taking on Sports, where we talk all things female athletes, from coaches to even women working in the industry. And today we are lucky enough to be joined by the Chattanooga Roller Derby girls. Welcome, ladies. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. Let's start off with a quick introduction and also the position that you play.
My name's Chaos, and I am a blocker and jammer, utility player, whatever's needed. Here recently switched back to jamming.
Okay. Nice to meet you.
I am Bomb, and I am a blocker and definitely not a jammer.
I'm Dr. Evil, and I am also a jammer.
Bomb, Dr. Evil, Chaos. Thank you so much for joining us today. Does somebody want to give like a brief overview of the game, the rules, and just kind of like how it is executed?
Sure. So it's a 1 hour game, 30-minute halves. Each team has 15 players. We field 5 at a time. One of the 5 is called a jammer. They wear a star on their helmet. We play in 2-minute increments called jams. And the people with the star are the jammers. They are trying to get past the opposing 4 blockers. And so their blockers are playing offense and defense, trying to keep the opposing jammer back, but get their jammer through. And then it's just a lapping point system. So every time our jammer passes an opposing player, they get a point.
Oh, wow. So definitely contact sport.
Full contact.
So when the girls were walking in, I was bringing them back to the studio, and they were telling me how sore they were. So they were actually walking kind of funny. You could tell they were definitely sore. So what's been going on since I've seen you all last?
Well, we've played 3 games in the past week. So one weekend we played Atlanta, a D1 team, and then the next weekend we played 2 bouts, including another D1 team, Jacksonville. So yeah, this is our week break, and we need it.
Yeah.
Okay, right now you're on a break. Good. That's good timing. So I think the last time we talked, you were about to have your season opener against the Atlanta team. How did that go?
We lost.
It's okay.
But it was
It's
a good
okay.
loss. It was kind of an expected loss. There's a ranking system within Derby, an international ranking system that we play under, and they were ranked above us. So Derby's not all about win-lose. It's a point spread. And so overall, I think we played well. We have some tweaks to make, but next time.
It's the first
Yeah.
game.
Exactly.
I mean, you're going to have so many tweaks to make, and
Yeah.
you just turned around saying we lost, but it was a good loss.
Oh, yeah.
So you just brought the positivity there.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, why did you all pick such a tough contact sport to play?
I don't think Derby. I didn't pick Derby. Derby picked me. So that's all I can say about that.
For me, it was a sport on skates. I grew up a rink rat, and I love roller skating, any kind, jam skating, park skating, roller derby.
I didn't know that, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
She pirouettes out of packs. I said that last time. I say it every time. Pretty
That's
insane.
hilarious.
But yeah, as soon as I realized it had been brought back,
Went
for
it.
the present, I was like, oh God, I got to find the closest league. This is happening.
Well, I was curious if some people didn't want to play derby because they didn't have the confidence on the skates. So did anyone have to learn how to skate in order to play? Because that would be me.
We
Yeah,
did.
we both
Okay.
did. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
And a lot of players do.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
everybody comes with a skating background. Yeah.
I knew how to go forward. And I grew up an athlete, so I kind of had this stability, but I did not know how to do anything other than go forward. Couldn't stop, couldn't turn, couldn't do anything like that.
And now you're just a pro.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. It's okay. We can brag about ourselves here. This is a safe space.
I will say I'm a good derby player, not the best skater. Those are
Okay.
2 very different things.
Yes.
Okay.
She's a good skater and good Derby player. Yes.
I heard with her little ballerina moves.
Yeah,
It sounds
exactly.
like, okay, yeah, I would break my neck. Okay, so no ice skating for you guys, just for fun.
I can ice skate.
Yeah, I can
Okay,
ice skate.
there you
Yeah.
Yeah.
But probably not as pretty as she can ice skate.
Right.
I'm sure she's a really good ice skater.
But you get it done.
Yes.
Okay, so does the fear of getting hurt ever prevent you from playing the game?
Nah,
Not
we've
really.
been hurt.
We
You
were
just
actually
get
talking about that in the lobby. You could get hurt many other ways too, so why not live your life, right?
That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
I have broken my legs before, both 2 different times, but my orthopedic surgeon was straight up like, most people break their legs stepping off of a curb. I have a story.
It's true.
I appreciate the story.
That is true. Yeah, I was thinking of a way to tie that in. You told me that previously.
Yeah.
And that they were broken at 2 separate times. That's correct?
Mhm.
Wow. So you just dealt with it the first time and you're like, it wasn't that bad.
I have
I
a
can
3-strike policy with
deal
that
with it
too.
again. Yeah, let's not re-break a leg.
No.
What about you ladies? Any gnarly injuries?
I got broken fingernails, lots of them.
Okay.
But I say if I have a big injury, I'm done. Like I'm not as bad as tough as Chaos. Like she's got 9 lives. I'm one and done.
I love the honesty.
Yeah.
I will
One
say
leg.
I'm an anomaly. It's not everyone gets injured like I do. So come play derby.
Yes.
Also true.
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming that when you get fearless and you get really confident or passionate about the game, you almost like take your injury mindset away and you're like, well, I just want to win. And so that would probably leave room for injury because you're just reckless and you're just trying to, be a badass. Almost hesitated saying that. But you probably just want to make sure to do right by your team.
Yeah.
So is your family supportive of you all playing such a contact sport?
For the most part, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
I have grandma and grandpas and aunts and uncles come out to the games.
Oh, even grandma.
Oh, yeah,
That's
even
awesome.
grandmas, both of them, yeah.
I love it. Well, I understand that you don't get paid yet for playing derby. So how do you all balance work, school, family, and derby? How does that work out?
Yeah, we laugh.
As you all
You
look
put
at each
derby
other.
first, and then work, then no, I'm just kidding. You figure it out. It's sometimes you have to miss a practice, or a couple practices or whatever. But we have an attendance policy and stuff like that, and most people make it. So if there's a will, there's a way. If you want to do it, you can do it.
Exactly. You make it work. So this attendance policy, I'm assuming attendance policy, if they miss too many practices, what happens?
You just can't get rostered.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So you have to show up to play. You got to
Mhm.
be there for practice.
Yeah.
So how long have you all been playing?
I started June 2010.
Okay.
I started August 2011.
And 2016 was my first season. My boot camp was end of fall 2015.
Wow, that's almost a lifetime. So we've got some OG players here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. So how has the game changed for you all in your years of playing?
Oh, there were big changes from
It
2010.
has slowed down. So as a jammer, the one who's trying to go, I like fast packs. I like to go. And the game has slowed down a lot. When I first started playing, right now we have a 1 whistle start, but it was a 2 whistle start, and the jammers wouldn't be released until the 2nd whistle once all of the blockers had passed a certain point on the track. And now all the blockers start right on the jammer line. The jammers are right there. There's like no space for speed. So that's a big difference for me. I really miss the 2 start speed days.
I feel like a lot of people also kind of associate roller derby with like old school bank tracks, and those have kind of gone away logistically speaking.
Yeah.
We play flat track roller derby, which is why the game has slowed down a lot too. With a bank track, you have to keep speed.
Well, it comes full circle. It all makes sense.
I think another big change too for someone like me that gets penalties more than I should, or Chaos, we kind of get penalties. But we years ago, and I don't know if that was like this when you were, they would have minor penalties, and so you would get minor. So you wouldn't have to go off the track. You wouldn't have to leave the track. And then if you got 4 minors, then you would have to go to the box. So now if you get a penalty, you're to the box every single time.
Oh, okay.
So you didn't feel as bad about getting penalties
Because it was just
you could get-
minor.
Yeah, it was minors. It was,
I honestly still don't know how they kept up with that. I don't know how the officials kept up with who had how many minors and when they're calling. I'm
Shout out
still
to
amazed.
officials.
Yeah.
We have amazing officials
We
and volunteer
do.
crews.
So are all officials volunteers?
Well, none of us get paid to play, so technically
Wow.
the whole league is.
Yeah.
I just really realized that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome, especially for the the what do you call them? Umps, referees,
Officials.
officials.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
There's
I mean,
skating
they
and
must
non-skating
really
officials.
like it, like the game.
Oh yeah,
to
they're
do
a part
that.
of the community and the league
Yeah.
as a whole for sure.
I
We have
bet
about
they're-
40 skaters, but our whole league is over probably 100 or close to it, just with
Wow.
officials and volunteers.
I bet they used to play, and that's why they.
No,
Not
derby's not a
some,
used to play sport.
Ah.
though.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not high school or it's not
Wow.
recreational or anything like that.
So to
like,
be involved
growing
in
up.
derby, you obviously have to be really passionate about it and put forth so much of your own time and
Oh, yeah.
probably money
Oh yeah.
to have the resources, the skates, the uniforms. I'm checking out all of your shirts that you have on today. They're
Chattanooga
different from
merch.
last
Yep.
time. Yeah, I bet they're all for sale and they're so cute. I love it.
Yeah, Chattanooga
It's
has great
addictive
merch.
though. I don't know. There's something about the culture that comes with derby and just the sport itself and like the challenge of it, but also the team aspect of it. And I don't know, being on wheels just makes it fun, So you just get hooked. And I mean, that's the same for everybody in the community. You just really, I don't know.
I'm sure
something-
there's a sense of
magical about it.
community within roller derby and, just camaraderie coming together. I bet they love it.
Very much so.
So talk to me about your new location. I'm so excited for you guys.
Yeah, we played now we've played the first game.
Yes.
It's at Camp Jordan, and it was a great turnout. It was amazing. As we said before, there's parking, there's stadium seating, there was vendors, and it was a great turnout. We were worried just moving locations for the first time in a decade, what that would look like, and it looked great. So
everybody came with us.
Yeah. June 10th is our next one.
Okay. Yes. Mark your calendars.
Yes.
So do you all practice there as well? You're there all full time?
No. We actually practice at Orange Grove, which is one of our sponsors.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm familiar with Orange Grove. Okay, good. So you only go to Camp Jordan just for games?
Correct. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, our last bout was the first time I had ever skated on that floor.
How was it?
I liked it.
It was
I
great.
didn't notice the floor, so that's the perfect way
a
for
little
it to
sticky
be.
for a blocker, but as a jammer, I feel like I would have liked it better.
Yeah. Yeah.
How was the stadium seating? Could everyone
great.
see? Could grandma see? Everyone could get a good seat?
Yes, it was great.
That's a game changer.
That was a game changer.
I mean,
Yeah,
I was-
and if
go
you
ahead.
have accessibility concerns, it was really easy to get parking right by the door, get in, and get a seat, all with plenty of room. And I don't know, that's exciting. The convention center was huge and had all kind of different exhibit halls, so it could be difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
it's
remember
free
standing.
parking.
Oh, that's
Free. That's huge.
That's huge because the convention
And
center where you're gonna
plenty
park.
of it.
Yeah.
Yes. Bring everyone.
Yes.
Exactly. Carpool.
I didn't
Or
even
no.
realize when I went to my last game, I was standing and I was just like, oh, I guess this is the best way to see.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure it's so much better to be comfortable. And then if you are handicap accessible, you can just be comfortable.
Everyone, yeah.
That's great. So also, I understand you all have the most players on your team than ever before currently right now.
Ever before, yeah.
How many players do we have now?
Over 40.
Holy
close
cow.
to 50, yeah.
And how many play at once?
Well, 15 get rostered at it per game. But we
Okay.
do have 2 teams, so we pretty much always play double headers. So you're always going to see 30 of us at once. And we're working on some more regulation games to get everyone playing.
Like a roller derby army. I love
Pretty
it.
much, yeah.
I love it.
We roll deep.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I love it. So, what about your Ruby regulators? Is that 40 going to be included in that JV?
No, actually.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I did not include the younger skaters. That was adult skaters that I was speaking towards. That probably pops us closer to 60, if not 70. Yeah.
So that really is an army. So why do you think it is? Like, what's going on with Derby that now more than ever people are wanting to get involved?
I mean, the pandemic did have, we saw resurgence in skating, I feel like in general. But I think maybe even just our visibility has been a lot better in the community and people see it and want to be a part of it.
And it's available. Like when we were growing up, junior roller derby wasn't a thing. I would have totally been doing that. So I guess, kids coming up now, it's an option. And so a lot of them are like, that sounds like fun. Yeah. That sounds cool. And then they come and it is, and it's a super inclusive environment and
they're hooked.
Yeah, they're hooked too.
The rest was history.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why do you think boys don't play roller derby?
But they do.
Well, actually, our junior league is
open to all genders.
Open to all genders.
Okay.
Yeah, community and the community as a whole is pretty inclusive, and you'll see more open gender teams or men's team coming up too. I think just from the resurgence, it was historically a female sport, but we are moving that along. So you're seeing more men in the sports and more just.
Well, we have to share, I guess. If we want them to share with us, it's only fair.
Right.
So, but would the men only be playing on the JV team or would they be on the varsity team? Is that even the right choice of words here?
Yeah, so right now our juniors are open gender. So you can see anyone and everyone play. For our adult league, the WIFTA, the governing body that we play under, it's pretty much just, it's a very inclusive community. And so it's pretty much just most closely identifying to female. And so you can actually still see it's again, an inclusive community. So we have a lot of people come out and play, and there are some men's teams popping up too that are just men specific. But the community as a whole is growing and moving towards having everyone play.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you all competed against men before?
I think
Oh, wow.
I've
You
played
all
with
have.
them.
Wow.
Like on
Okay.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
they're sweaty.
Yeah, gross. I can see that. Gross.
Yeah.
It's fun though.
It
I mean,
is.
it's fun.
Yeah.
We play more. It's a different.
Yeah,
center
we're
of
like more
gravity.
hip centered and they're
Shoulder.
shoulder centered, so it can actually be an advantage when you're playing
Ah.
against men. 'Cause I don't know, their center of balance is higher, so it's easier to.
You're
knock
like, I
them
know
down.
how you're going to try to knock me down, and I'm not going to let you.
Yeah.
'Cause I can think. That's awesome. So, what are your biggest challenges playing roller derby?
Oh wow, I don't know. Well, after that Atlanta bout, I was thinking,
Recovery. No.
am I too old for this? Should I be considering maybe wrapping it up? But then I had a week of rest and a good 2-game tournament, and yeah, that mindset's gone. So
Mhm.
that's probably one of my challenges.
I think time is for me,
Yeah.
just trying to juggle life and play derby, but I don't want to give it up. And again, age, because we're the OGs, like we said. So we're always like, okay, when is this going to be the last year? And I was not going to let COVID take my last year of derby away. So that kind of put me, 2 more years out playing. So I don't know. We'll see when I quit, retire.
Right. Time, definitely. I think that
Yes.
is most for everyone. Coming back from COVID, I've tried to more evenly prioritize my life. I used to more just eat, sleep, breathe derby. And now I still do, but not to the extent.
Well, there's these things called responsibilities
Right,
that
what is
just
that?
have to take the forefront. Players rewards playing derby.
Experience of like doing something challenging and fun with a team, and like you win together, you lose together, and I don't know, it's just a bonding experience. So like actually playing is for me the reward.
For me, I think it's my health, just because when I started playing derby, I was not really in shape. And those girls whipped me into shape like in no time. And I went back to the doctor and they were like, your blood pressure's great. You're off
Doing
you're
what
off
you're
blood
doing."
pressure meds. You have like the heartbeat of like a young athlete. So I mean, I'm telling you, it's great exercise. And so that's one reason why I keep pushing myself to do it too, because my health is important. And so that's my biggest reward.
Yeah, definitely the growth in the teammates. I'd have to go kind of in between theirs.
I could definitely see that. I could
Mhm.
see it being so good for people.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the skating, the pushing.
And the confidence building. I don't know. I feel like
Yes.
it surprisingly draws introverts to the sport,
Mhm.
and just seeing confidence build in people in ways that they didn't have before. I don't. there's
And I'm
just something
sure as
about
your
it.
teammate, that's rewarding for you to see their growth.
Yeah.
And you can say,
Yeah.
gosh, I remember their first practice. And
Mhm.
then look at them now. They have
Yeah.
purple hair. They're just out there being them confidently. So that's got to be so rewarding.
And we
Yeah.
pick like alter egos that end up just kind of merging with who we are. And I feel like it brings people out of their shells.
Yes, the nicknames. And when I asked you all to introduce yourselves, not one person cared to say their real name.
Yeah.
Didn't even cross their minds. I was like, oh, of course. I would have to clarify if I want their government name here. So
Yeah.
I love it.
I would literally have to stop and think for a minute to tell you their government name. Like I couldn't just rattle them off.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's how the whole derby community is.
Yeah.
I know one of their teammates, and I mentioned to them last time, oh, you know so-and-so. And they all were like, who? Oh, they had, Monkey.
Monkey, I think that's what it was. Yeah.
It's so funny. And I was just like, oh, yeah, I forgot Monkey, Duh. How could I dare not say Monkey? Well, I love asking female athletes this question, and I have got to ask you all, do you feel a sense of pride playing your sport?
Absolutely. Yeah. For sure.
Why do you think that is?
I always tell people that, if you can beat the mental game of derby, like we couldn't skate when we started, and that's hard seeing all these other skaters just whip by you, and you're like, you're holding onto the rail, like barely getting by. You're like, I'm never going to be able to. It's so prideful just because, again, back to confidence and just knowing that you did something that most people, if it was easy, everybody would do it. And we've literally seen hundreds of girls come through that want to do it and they want to try it, but the mental game is just too much.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. It's just the growth. Just the growth that I've had from being able to roll forward to what I do now and help with the league and whatnot. It's been amazing. And just watch the growth of the league too. That's been amazing to be a part of.
You all are everywhere right now.
Yeah.
I actually saw you on a local news
Oh, yeah.
station. So, that's you have a lot to be proud of. You've taken a sport and you've done a lot with it. So your entire team should be proud.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, just the last question that I have for you ladies, is there anything else that you want our community to know about your roller derby team?
the game. We
I
have
know,
a
right?
game
The-
coming up. Yes. So come out and
Good
support
job.
that.
Good job. Yes.
June 10th, right?
Mhm.
At Camp Jordan. And they can find us on Facebook, our website. The tickets are now available. And it's a fun family night out. It just isn't just for adults, but there is concessions, and it's a great Saturday night.
And you can buy tickets at the door, correct?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Old school way.
That, and we are a nonprofit, and we do work off of our community, and we love our community, and that's how our games are, how we kind of continue and are able to push the league further. And we pair with other nonprofits. So each of our bouts are, we sponsor a nonprofit, and proceeds go to them. And so and that changes up.
Okay. Well, ladies, thank you so much for being here. I couldn't thank you enough for what you do in the community and what you're doing with your team and on that court. I'm Lundy Hollenbeck, and this has been Women Taking on Sports for ESPN Chattanooga 95.3.